When you're worth $300 billion, you don't have time to care for your looks, right? Well, it's wrong. Let's take a look at all the aesthetic changes the richest guy on earth has done. This video is going to show you a side of Elon Musk you've never seen before. First up, let's take a look at his hair. Now, Elon actually started bald very early on, as you can see on these images. Balding has mostly to do with genetics, and there's actually a lot of things you can do about it, but the route that he chose to go is getting a hair transplant. You've seen a lot of influencers getting their heads shaven and their hairs implemented in their forehead, but nowadays technology is getting better and better, so you can even get to a point where you don't even need a shave. There's even two methods. One is they just trim a line in the back of your head, and the other one is like they don't shave at all and you just plant larger hairs to the front. Then again, this technology was not available when he got his hair transplant done, so he actually has a scar on the side of his head from the hair transplant. Besides that, Elon also have potentially gray hair, because there's a little bit of mixed opinions about this. So I think he gets his hair colored, because there's different photos where the hair color is different, and sometimes it's a little bit more darker and other times it looks a little bit more brown. Now this can be related to like the photo settings and all that kind of stuff, but I think the chances are big that he does something to color his hair, because he's very aware that if he is gray, he looks so much older. Then again, the hair coloring that is being done is actually very smooth, so that's why most people don't really notice it. The second point is the style. Now, back in the days, he had horrible style, as you can see in his images, but nowadays his style is actually pretty decent, and probably one of the reasons is that he has a stylist, or one of his 100 girlfriends is actually the one picking out his outfit. Now, one interesting note is that he actually has a mix between having like professional clothing, so often when you see him appear with like Donald Trump and stuff, like he looks a little bit more professional, he wears a blazer, and also sometimes when he has like tours around his factory, he wears more casual and he just wears like a basic t-shirt. When it goes to like events and important things, he never looks casual. He rarely is spotted in like just a regular t-shirt and not a blazer or a jacket on top of it, because he understands that perception is very important, and he's worth 300 billion, so we might learn a thing or two from that. On top of that, he also has some eccentric outfits, right? So like galas, or like where the paparazzi is at, like sometimes he rocks really weird outfits that are cool but also more eccentric. Then again, his eccentric thing kind of fits his personality, right? So overall, I think style wise, for a nerdy type that he is, he's doing a great job. Now let's take a look at his teeth, and notice that back in the days he actually used to have a gap in his front teeth, and that gap is gone. Now there's a lot of different methods to get rid of that, but his teeth are also like really well done, and his bottom teeth used to be like really messed up, so he had some work done. The question is like what specifically that he has done. My suspicion is that he potentially has veneers done. They create like a really perfect smile, but if you do them wrong, you can cause a lot of problems and get infections in your mouth, and like you need to get a bunch of root canals. So if you want to go the route of veneers, make sure that you understand how they are done and which provider you should go for, because the ones that shave almost all of your tooth away, those are the ones that you should stay away from. Now let's take a look at the next point. For that, we should take a look at this photo, because the internet went crazy after this photo was posted. Here you can see him rocking a sizable front area, and because of that, I think he kind of like got motivated from it. He doesn't like to be perceived as a fat guy, right? And he even like made fun of Bill Gates with the fat emoji when Bill Gates had like a tummy, and he actually used the publicity regarding this photo as motivation in order to start losing weight. Now, how did he lose weight? Actually, I'm pretty damn sure that he used Ozempic in order to lose all of that pounds. So it's stated that his weight came down from 250 pounds all the way down from 180 pounds. And 180 pounds for his height, because he's like 6'1", 6'2", a very respectable weight. But he is a person that is struggling with his weight. Now, obviously, when you're super busy, you see this a lot with entrepreneurs, so you don't go to the gym as much as you might need to do. And also the thing is like you will go out to dinners, right? And like going out to dinners, it's a sure way to get your diet messed up, because you will just get a lot more fat in, a lot more oil in, etc, etc. But then again, the conclusion of it about his weight is he's doing great. Then again, if you want to lose weight, make sure that you don't use the Ozempic way. If you're not like a billionaire that's working like 120 hours, if you're a regular person, just go to the gym and watch your diet. A big thing nowadays is that there's so many delicious food that has like very little calories in it, so just pick those instead of using Ozempic. Now, an interesting one that happens when you're getting old is that actually your eyebrows often becomes a little bit messy, you know? And Elon, he's like 53, I believe, so his eyebrow hair is going longer and longer, and this is actually something that I think he should change, because for him it would be a lot better if he gets those puppies trimmed a bit. Now, before we continue the video, make sure to subscribe to learn more about online dating and how to improve your looks. And the next point is his beard. His beard growth is terrible for somebody in their 50s, right? He does not have a full beard, like far from it. That's something that he's just lacking. And besides that, that, his beard is actually also very great. There's some pictures around where he has some beard growth and you see the color of his beard, and in general it's just really great. So even if you would have a full beard and he would like keep it, it would age him significantly, probably like 10 years or something. So overall he shaves it, and I think that's the right decision and the right choice to go for. Then again, you can change it by doing certain things. For example, using minoxidil and microneedling. There's ways to get a fuller beard. I've done those things as well. Even though people think I'm already young, I'm in my 30s. If I would shave my beard, I would look 25 tops. So if I get to the stage where I'm, let's say 50, I can shave my beard and I look 40. So like, beard is a nice thing to play around with, like if you want to be perceived older or if you want to be perceived younger. Next up is muscles. Now I suspect that Elon has quite a high level of test, because I believe he has 14 kids walking around, and like if you're super low testing, you cannot get a hard on, you don't want to even make 14 children, right? Besides him being already super busy, right? So his priority of making children is higher than weight loss, because he needed drugs for that, right? So when you think about it, I think he probably has quite high test, and I would also not be surprised if he is actually on TRT, right? Because he is in his 50s, so his natural testosterone levels should be declining, yet he had a child like this year. He also had a post where he posted like testosterone is awesome. So the chance of him, and the fact that he's hanging out with Joe Rogan, who takes TRT and is very vocal about it, is quite high. And it's also like he should use it, right? Because it will benefit his performance overall in multiple different facets. So also, if you're in your 50s, if you're in your 40s and your testosterone is super low and you don't want to go the whole natural route and making sure everything is okay, and you're in a location stable for a longer period of time, TRT might be actually something that's very interesting to look into. I will definitely do that in like 10 years. Now let's talk about some improvements that he can make to even become more attractive, so he can make even more babies, right? Because he probably wants to hit 30. Anyway, so one is more muscles. I do think like overall his muscles are pretty decent. Like he's rocking like a big ass dumbbell in the office. This was at the time where he would potentially fight Mark Zuckerberg, and he seemed to be lifting it quite easily. So getting more muscles would be beneficial. Now he does need more money, obviously. If he becomes like rank 2 and Bezos takes him over, you know, like it's gonna be bad, and no girl probably wants him, you know. Anyway, overall, when you take a look at it, like his aesthetics, he's doing a very good job. Like his face is well taken care of, his style is well taken care of, he made sure he lost weight, he takes care of his hair. Like there's a lot of aspects that he's well taken care of, and there's a big lesson in that. When you look at the improvements that he still can make, you need to understand that there's not a lot of improvement, and that's kind of weird, right? Because it's a guy that's not focused on it, because he has like a gazillion businesses that he needs to run. What you need to understand is somebody who has a vast amount of money that can literally buy a whole street without even caring for it, cares still so much about his teeth, so much about his hair, about his style, all those kind of things. So there's no real excuse for you to be like, I don't care for it because I need to do X, Y, and Z. Listen, he's grinding like 120 hours every single week, and he still take care of his looks. So if you're not in that position, there's a lot of upsides. And it's also not, he doesn't necessarily only does it for getting women and stuff like that. Understand that public perception of you will improve when you look better. That's just like data. Science has shown if you look better, people will treat you nice. And I've seen the same thing. I've went to bars with friends that were less good looking, that didn't take care of their looks, who had pimples, you name it. We did the same thing. They get shut down, and for me, they smile and they laugh, etc., etc. So make sure that you take care of your looks, because it will just make your whole life easier. Business will be easier, girls will be easier, friends will be easier. Personally, I prefer not to hang out with a short, fat guy who doesn't have any money and who doesn't brush his teeth and who has pimples all over his face. Like, you need to understand that having a list of downsides looks wise from here to Tokyo is gonna hold you back in all areas of your life. Now I probably think that you get it. So another billionaire who made crazy transformation is Mark Zuckerberg, because maybe he actually looked at Elon and analyzed like, hey, this guy knows a thing or two. Anyway, we did an analysis on his big transformation that he made. So if you want to watch that video, click on the video on your screen to learn more.